Now we're talking Emmerdale, and after the shock stabbing, well, Matty is a bit worried about a future in jail.
Yeah, go on, get out.
Yeah?
Hannah! Hannah owes us one.
Right, will you pack it in with that? All right, it's called Matty.
We're not done. Samson, get that money! But Josh pushed him onto me, I'm telling you.
Mr. Cope denies that ever happened.
I can't! Samson, I can't! I can't go to prison, Samson, I can't!
We'll in for court in an hour.
Oh, his little face. That last clip was an exclusive look at tonight's episode, and Ash Palmisciano, I hope I get that a wee bit right,
lovely.
who plays Matty. It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's lovely to see you.
But poor Matty.
I know.
He doesn't want to be in the jail. I mean, this is the worst possible thing that could happen.
This is the worst possible thing that could happen. It's not a good time for him, Lorraine, at
No.
all. I mean, you know, he's a nice guy, right? And he's a soft guy. He's been quite sheltered by his lovely family. The thought of going to prison anyway would be terrifying, let alone the fact that he's a trans guy.
Sure.
What does that mean for him? You know, what is it going to be like in there for him? It is an extra whole layer of fear.
Yeah, there is very much so, and it's an important storyline for you to do, isn't it? You know, for you yourself.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, for me, it was like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to sort of transform something that was a struggle in my life to sort of transform it into something that could really help sort of break down the barrier of what it means to be trans and just tell a human story. And as I said, you know, we spoke before that Matty's been so accepted in the village and so loved that actually that isn't always the case for trans people. So to be able to show this unfortunate situation that involved transphobia that is now led on to him going to prison and what's to come in there, it's been really great to be able to show like a real perception of that and what that would be like.
No, absolutely, because what I love about Matty is he's just Matty.
Yeah.
I mean, when he first came on, it was Matty the trans man. Now it's just Matty.
That's right.
And that's really, really good. And that's so important for you
Yeah.
to portray that in Emmerdale. So now we've got to know Matty, and we just like him. But to see him then very vulnerable, I think that's really important to portray that.
And, you know, as an actor, it's been really lovely to play something a bit gritty, show him a bit vulnerable. And as you said, you know, he's a nice guy. He's sort of well-liked in the village, and he's got a lovely wife now, just got married.
Absolutely.
Everything's going for him, you know, he's got his whole life ahead of him, and then all of a sudden he's faced with this awful situation where he's innocent as well. You know, he's been framed, he's pushed into this situation where he's been held on remand. And, yeah, to be able to show that vulnerability as an actor is great, but also to show him as a human, you know, that we'd all struggle in that situation.
Oh, gosh, absolutely. Everybody would. But to be on one of the most popular shows on telly and to be able to do these sorts of storylines, I mean, as an actor, it's a gift, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Because you kind of never know what's going to happen.
No, you don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what's next.
1 minute you're having a joke, and then the next minute it's real proper drama.
Well, that's it. 1 minute you're getting married, the next minute you're in prison. You never know what's around the corner.
Well, that's life, isn't it, Matt? That is life, Ash. Ash, that is what happens in true life all the time. But you know, you've slotted into it. I cannot believe it's been all that time.
I know.
Do you still feel like a newbie, or do you feel... Do you a wee bit?
I can't believe it, because when I was growing up, you know, I always wanted to be an actor.
Of course.
And I remember saying to my careers advisor, you know, I would love to be on the telly. And because I come from a small town in the Midlands and, you know, everything else, they said, you know, maybe think of something else. Don't get into it.
Right.
You know, the classic. So I was, you know, grafting for years. I was doing all sorts of jobs. You know, I think I said to you last time I was on the show, I was a full-time peasant at Warwick Castle for a long time.
Yes.
We're trying all sorts of things.
Not many people have got that in their CV.
That's true.
That they were a peasant at Warwick Castle. But it is that thing, you go and bring everything to life. It's so
great.
Good.
It was good. It was
you
good
do
fun.
that, you can do anything.
Well, that's it. That's what they say. It was great. And then, so for me to get this, it was a real last chance. My family was saying to me, maybe you should think of something else. And I said, OK. And I was volunteering for a charity at the time that were working with consulting on this storyline.
Oh,
so that's how I got into it. I went along, and I didn't say I was an actor, but by the end of it, they sort of said, would you like to audition? So I said, yeah, go on then. And then,
isn't it amazing how these things happen?
7 years later, I'm still there.
Yeah, and the thing is about that is you want to, if you're enjoying what you do and you're getting all of these amazing challenges and you're making a difference, because you must get a really great response, not just from other trans people generally, but especially right now when things are really hard.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever been as tough to be a trans person. It's really hard.
I think it's really tough right now.
Which is why it's so important.
Yeah, it's really tough right now, and this is why I wanted to do the role. You know, when it came up, I had to really think about it, Lorraine, because I was like, I'm going to be putting myself out there massively. And you know, I lived a lovely little bubble. You know, I didn't have to talk about being trans every day. Sure. Really supportive family. So when I chose to do this role, I thought, what an amazing opportunity to, like, not obviously my dream job, but also to be able to help break down those fears of what it is to be trans, because, you know, essentially trans people are just like everyone else. They've just changed a few things to be who they are.
Exactly.
And it's that simple. So for me to be able to be that image and a reference point for someone, perhaps transitioning younger at school, or even, you know, an older person, to be able to sort of speak to their family member that's trans, to be able to help that and be a reference, it's a dream come true, and I really hope that it makes a difference.
No, it does. Yeah. And you should never feel that you have to justify your existence, because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. Lorraine. But look, there's something very serious I have to talk to you about.
Yes, OK.
Very serious.
Go for it.
You have been in Emmerdale for all these years and you do not have a pair of Wellington boots.
No, but I had a farmer song playing on your show, so I'll say...
I'm so sorry about that. It was hilarious. We were howling about that. Was it the Wurzels?
It was the Wurzels, sorry. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, there we are. Because, you know, that's what Emmerdale's all about, obviously. I don't think there's that much farming ever gets done.
But I do need a pair of wellies.
Well, it just so happens, young man,
what?
that I have got a pair of wellies.
Are you joking?
For you. Thank you, my love. There they are. Adorned.
Oh, my goodness, look at those.
I'm so sorry.
Do you know what? These are my dream wellies. Guess what? I'm going to Glastonbury in 2 weeks. I'm wearing Lorraine wellies.
Just change all that. They're just stickers. They can come off and you can do something better
give them
with
out.
them.
Oh, my God, do you know what you've made? I've been actually in the market for a pair of wellies.
And they're your size.
And they're my size. Oh, yeah, do you find my size?
Yeah, oh, we know everything.
I'll tell you what, I'm coming back here again. You haven't got any waterproofs, have you?
We'll sort it. We'll sort it. We'll definitely sort it. It is a joy to see you. It always is a joy to see you. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing just by being you. And, of course, Emmerdale continues tonight, 7:30. Enjoy the wellies. Woo! That's brilliant.
I'm glad I didn't take these to prison.
No, don't. I could get you in a hell of a lot of trouble.